Do you have a belief or beliefs that sabotage or limit what you are currently doing in your life, or what you believe you have the potential to do in your life? Beliefs like I'm not good enough, I'm not young enough, I'm not old enough, I'm not attractive enough, I'm not thin enough, I'm not fat enough, I'm not muscular enough, I'm not smart enough, all of those kind of beliefs. Do you have any of those beliefs? If you do, then keep listening, because I want to teach you an exercise in a minute which could very well change your life. So here's what you need to know about beliefs. None of the beliefs you have, no matter how true you believe they are actually true. They're not based in fact. They are conclusions that you made at some point in the past and chose to believe them as the truth. So let me explain. Back in the day, when it wasn't sincerely frowned upon to have elephants in circuses, the people who owned the elephants had to train the elephant, these big motherfucking elephants, how to remain calm and centered in a hot and steamy circus tent. So they needed to work out how they could make sure that this big elephant didn't make a big stampede and essentially kill everybody in the crowd. So how did they do that? It was actually very simple. What they did, they had these elephants from little babies, from little baby calves. And what they did to train them to stay still and on command, they would stake this little elephant into the ground with a little twig. Now, because this little elephant, this calf, wasn't very big and strong, it would tug at this twig, but it couldn't break away from it. And it kept tugging at this little twig, and every time it tried to tug, it couldn't move. So it made the conclusion that it wasn't strong enough to break free from this twig. And then the elephant got much bigger and much stronger, as you can imagine elephants do, but it didn't try to break away from the twig. It had made the conclusion the twig was stronger than it, and it stayed stuck to it. So what happened then was, when this elephant got big enough to be in the circus, the person who had the elephant and brought the elephant into the circus ring would stake it into the ground with a little twig, and the elephant would not try to escape. It wouldn't trample everybody in the crowd. That's what your beliefs are like. So you might believe that your beliefs are immovable objects, where in reality they are just little twigs that have been stuck into the ground, and you have chosen not to fight against them, not to move against them. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to get a piece of paper, and I want you to write down all of the times in the past when you were wronged, when you were hurt, and when you did not show up as your best self in that situation. So a time when you were wronged by a person or a situation or a movement or something, and you didn't show up as your best self. Write those things down. Then what I want you to do, I want you to look at all of these events in the past that hurt you, where you felt you were wronged and you didn't show up as your best self. And I want you to ask yourself, against each one, what did you decide to believe about yourself or the world at that time? Maybe it was that I'm not strong enough. Maybe it was that I'm not good enough. Maybe that it was that I'm not lovable. All of those kind of things. Write them all down. I want you to flush out all of the limiting beliefs that you have that are tied to limiting events in the past. Then what I want you to do, I want you to bracket those beliefs and go, which ones have the most impact on me today? Maybe it's I'm not lovable. Maybe it's I'm smart enough. And then what I want you to do, I want you to ask yourself, of say the top 3, is this belief true? 100%. And just say 0 to 100%. If you put 100%, by the way, you're bullshitting yourself. It's not 100% true. And then I want you to ask yourself, on the same belief and beliefs, how does this belief serve me today? Now, you'll most likely find that that belief does not serve you today. So then I want you to ask this next question. What if it wasn't true? What if I was wrong? And then I want you to write down, what is the opposite of that belief? I want you to flip the script on that belief. If it's I'm not lovable, it's as simple as I'm incredibly lovable, or I'm a little bit lovable, or I am lovable. If it's I'm not smart enough, I am smart, I am clever. And then what I want you to do, for the next 100 days, if you watch the past videos, you'll know I call this 100 dirty reps, because we want to groove this new belief into your brain. I want you to act as if your new belief, I am lovable, I am smart, I am incredibly clever, I want you to act as if that is 100% true. And I want you to do that consistently for the next 100 days. And I want you to see how your life changes when you decide to pull away from that little fucking twig that has been keeping you stuck for far too long.